Hey, folks. Welcome to another session of the Wildlands campaign. Ooh, this one's going to be a doozy. Tonight, we have the full complement of current players, including both of the Colossi. Both Bref and Mavra are joining us at the same time at the beginning of the session tonight. So glad you guys could both make it for the beginning. This is going to be fun. Last time, you guys assaulted a poor, innocent, overgrown temple full of strange frogmen, boggards, and then something terrible called a slan came out. And this was a red slan. Slod.
Wrong universe.
Yes, wrong universe. A red slod. Which seemed to be some kind of awful, otherworldly, twisted, ancient frog creature. Significantly larger than the rest. He stood 8 feet tall and had all of these strange abilities and spoke in a weird language that only Bella, who had tongues cast upon her, could understand. Even in death, this creature is quite disturbing and alien. And as it was dying, the Slod warned you that down below in the crypt, there are other colors of its kind, and all of them are far more powerful than itself. Okay, so the fight won. The boggards either driven off or slain. You inserted the jade key with the metal disc with inscriptions upon it into the keyhole in this sort of central block of carven stone here in the middle. You turned the key, and this caused the water pouring into the spawning pool to cease, and the pool drained away, eventually revealing a narrow stairs around the edge and a kind of a drop into the crypt entrance down below the surface of where the water once was. And I think something else happened right before the end, but I don't remember what. I think that was it.
I think the only other thing, we talked loot, but that was about it.
Mm-hmm.
You did pick up a bunch of loot. You have been finding bags of gold and jewels with the responses to ransoms, apparently ransoms, lying round about. And here you are. I do not have a version of this map where this pool is drained, unfortunately. That would have been cool. But you will have to pretend that this pool is drained and there's this sort of narrow, slick, mossy sort of staircase that curves around the curvy side and down to the bottom. And there's a sort of a hole at the bottom where you can see like the tunnel kind of loops up in order so that there's an entrance to an entrance to the crypt of the Moggod down below. Is there anything you guys would like to do, discuss, or anything else before you go down those slippery steps?
I mean, I think we should take a break, like take an hour rest.
I'm down with that.
Sure, let's take a quick break.
very well. I could use some time to meditate as well.
Well, I feel perfectly fine, so I'll keep watch.
While we're resting, I'll use my Song of Rest. So everyone who uses hit dice to heal, you get an extra 1d6 hit points.
Very cool. Hang on just a second. Okay. Sorry about that. You seat yourselves upon the stairs or on some of the soft moss growing round about and take a load off. You rest, you sharpen your weapons, you repair small damages to your armor. You have the opportunity to spend hit dice to heal. And with the effects of the bardic spell from Bliss, it will be enhanced.
Gary actually fully healed me, but I get my key back.
Cool. Okay. The hour passes by. Bref does not rest, but stands guard, pacing around, thumbing his axe. Bref, go ahead and roll a perception roll for me.
Well, it's a 17, or if I have advantage, a 17.
Bref, you're just assaulted really by the sounds and smells and sights of the thick forest all around. And you are more and more noticing the sort of vines twisted into ropes and tracks and little caches of food or weapons or perhaps little trinkets all round about. Evidence that creatures have been living in this area. And with a 17, you also notice a whiff of a different smell coming from the empty pool. Not the smell of leaves or rotting mulch in the forest, but something acrid and unpleasant.
Hey everybody, I don't want to worry anyone too much, but there is something unusual in that pool there. I'm getting a weird smell. I would probably call it acrid and unpleasant.
Well, should we go check it out, or wait for it to jump out and attack us?
Your rest is complete, guys.
Should we go check it out, or not go check it out?
I would prefer to check it out now so it doesn't jump out and attack us when we're least expecting.
I agree.
Okay. You follow your nose, Bref. And you come to realize that it's coming from within the ruins of the temple. And you make your way over to the large corpse where the smell is coming from, and you realize, Bref, it's a little bit smaller than it used to be. And there's this pool of slime spreading out from the red, aberrant body. This malformed, muscular creature is melting.
That alliteration, though.
Is this something we should worry about?
It's bubbling slightly, as though some acid within its body were released upon death. And it's slowly, well, rapidly, really, breaking it down.
Really nasty.
Forgive me for intruding in your conversation, but my understanding of these creatures is that they are extraplanar in origin, and so it is possible that they decay more rapidly when they can, or when they are no longer sustaining themselves on this plane.
Go ahead and make a nature check for me, Vapos.
Sure. That's a 6. Vapos definitely knows what he's talking about.
Definitely.
100%.
All right. Soon there will be little evidence that there was any monstrous creature here at all.
Okay, Max. I'm pulling. This is a stretch. This is a stretch. But given that Bliss has fiendish background, because he's a freaking tiefling, does he have any sort of sense for what is happening to this thing? Or can he maybe feel like what Vapos is saying feels right? Like what he's saying, that I feel like that feels right. Or if from what I've heard about demons or the fiends like this, like that feels or sounds correct or wrong or something like that.
All right. Well, do you want to pull on your religion, nature, or arcana?
All of those are exactly the same for me, so I'll just roll. I will say religion. Why not? I mean, better than Vapos. So an 11.
Better than Vapos. So you, but not that much better. You too have heard of extraplanar creatures, demons and devils and angels that disappear back to their home plane upon death. However, in the stories you've heard, Nico, or at least the songs you've heard, Bliss, they usually vanish in a puff of smoke or ash and the smell of brimstone. This horrid melting is not that.
All right, Bliss will share that with the party. That, as far as he knows, is kind of unusual.
That's what your religion check gets
Do
you.
we know what plane of existence these weird things come from? Because maybe it's normal for whatever plane they're from or wherever they're... I don't know.
My deepest apologies, milady, but I don't have that kind of information. My understanding of these creatures is only passing knowledge.
All right. No need to apologize, just sort of brainstorming out loud.
Does any of the iconography on the key or on the stone rectangle thingy, does any of that show? I mean, I'm asking the group, like, can anyone interpret that or get any information from those things?
I could try making a history check on them. Is that okay, DM?
It would probably be an investigation check with advantage from Bliss. Wow, that advantage came in handy.
Teamwork.
Our parts
Bella.
go.
A growing unease sets in as you examine the carvings and iconography round about the walls of the temple and the central stone. It doesn't look like there's too much about other planes of existence. And all the carvings are weird, and some of them are faded. You're getting the sense, greater and greater, that this place is old. Very, very old. That thing that's melting over there was probably pretty old itself. Disturbingly, you notice two different methods. I'll give you two different things with your 28 investigation. You see different shapes and colors of slotty emerging from some strange, distant realm out of a gem. And the carvings show gems embedded in their skulls, inside their brains. But there's another, far more disturbing method, which shows tadpoles bursting out of humanoid chests. And the slotty, who all seem to be male, impregnating humanoids with their eggs, which gestate and then burst forth later on.
Well, guys, I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is there might be valuable jewels inside the heads of these slots, so maybe it would be worth it to kind of poke around in the sludge a little bit. The bad news is I think I might know what happened to everybody's daughters and sisters, and it is not pretty. And I'll gladly show anybody the drawings and kind of explain what I'm seeing in them.
Ew.
Yeah, that's not great.
Well, on the upside, I'm now very motivated to go down and attack anything that lives down there.
Yeah, this whole like we should try and talk to them and be peaceful and stuff. No, these are bad. These are bad things. I do not like this.
Yeah, no, let's kill all these things. And hey, any treasures or divine blessings we get are just a super fun bonus for ridding the world of evil.
I don't mean to be a downer, but based on the language of the creatures we fought, I think the blessing they were talking about was being a host for one of these things.
Well, but they said no mortal had ever received it, and based on these inscriptions, it seems like lots of mortals received it. Unfortunately,
I mean, it could have been a lie.
that's true. That is definitely true.
I guess it's a good thing we killed those tadpoles. Looking over to Vapos, how are you feeling? Didn't some of them get on you?
We can't hear you, Corey.
Oops. I did, but I was able to drive them out. It was a bit painful, but I think well worth it.
Well, do we have any other reason to stick around up here? Oh, shouldn't we investigate the thing's head for a jewel?
Yeah, let's go just poke around in the sludge and see if we see anything.
Bliss is backing up real far at once. Nothing to do with that.
I'll just try to find a long stick and use it to sort of stir and dig in the
Ooh.
The stick hisses and smokes upon contact with the acidic mucus oozing from the creature. You stir it round and round. There's no evidence of a gem. However, you do see bones, which are also being broken down by the acidic mucus. The smell is something like urine plus. And burning urine. That's how I'm going to describe it.
Why did we come here?
Well, I don't see any signs of any jewels, but everybody be very careful not to touch it because it will definitely hurt you if you do.
From across the way.
Now I really want to touch it. I do not want to touch it.
Ref, no.
From across the way, Bliss is like, I had no intention of doing so. Don't worry.
You do find that its claws are hollow, and there's this sort of sac, SAC, of tiny eggs that feed into the hollow claws.
Oh, that's disgusting. Okay, I'll show
Did anyone
the
get
people.
scratched by it? I don't think
Nope.
so. Okay.
Oh wait, I should.
That's disgusting.
Sorry.
All right. Also, don't get scratched by it because apparently that's how it egg rapes you.
That is useful information.
Yeah.
That is incredibly disgusting.
I'm gonna squish the eggs with the stick.
All right. They make unpleasant popping sounds as they are broken down by the acidic mucus.
Frog caviar, anyone?
Shall I begin setting a rope to go down into the depths?
I think so.
Sounds great.
Vapos,
Okay,
are you proficient in athletics?
I am.
Noted. So you'll tie a rope to like a tree or something just outside, just past the spawning pool, like this tree, for example?
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay. I don't know if you have a grappling hook.
I don't have a grappling hook. I've just got 50 feet of rope.
Okay. So you tie the rope and let it dangle down, and you guys now have an extra guide rope to help you climb down into the now empty spawning pool.
Akira's gonna water down.
Okay. You guys wish to enter the crypt?
Yep,
Yep.
let's do it.
Down.
Okay.
Vapos is going to go first, just in case there's still water down at the bottom.
Akira's gonna follow him.
Okay.
Bliss will be last because he's becoming less and less enthused about this.
Alrighty. You guys see a blank screen?
Yep.
Okay. So the walls of this spawning pool are not straight down. They kind of change, and it changes size, and there's kind of a slope up once you hit the bottom that goes underneath the that goes underneath the temple ruin to kind of like... You could, in other words, you could have swum down and then climbed out onto a drier area. But you don't have to swim. So over here on this side is kind of the where you've landed. With this kind of old algae grown up over everything, making everything kind of slippery and unpleasant. And then we have breath. Wait a minute. Something wrong? Can you see yourself, Breath?
Yes. I'm all the way on the left-hand side.
Why is it looking weird to me? I don't know. Alright. Curls. And Bella.
I always forget that's her canon nickname. Like
Mavra. And Vapos.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm only seeing the characters I can potentially control.
And
Same.
Bliss. You are?
Yep.
I can't see anybody.
Yeah, I can see Bref and Mavra. I can't see myself.
I only see me.
I see no one.
No, that's what I get for trying the special lighting. That's what happened.
Now I see everybody.
That's
Is
what
it-
I get.
That actually kind of makes sense, because from my perspective, if it's so dark, I would not be able to see them. But
Yeah,
it makes gameplay difficult.
Did you set the lighting values for the tokens? They may not have carried over with the defaults that you had.
Oh,
character
yeah.
sheet.
No, I definitely did not. But I can't deal with that right now.
Okay.
Um.
Lessons for next time.